Welcome to A Wild and Simple Life, a podcast of literary fiction, simple living, and nature short stories. I'm Julianne, and I read and write all the stories you'll hear. Each episode offers a small pause in your day, a soft space to breathe, and stories that invite you to slow down and reconnect with what truly matters. In the show notes, you'll find links to the ad-free premium version of the show, my personal diary, merch that you can purchase to support the show, plus my beautiful limited edition framed nature short story prints. Each print and story celebrates the quiet beauty of simple living and the rhythms of the natural world. Only 20 of each story will ever be printed, so they truly are special. Thoughtfully framed and ready to inspire, they're perfect for your home or as a meaningful gift. I created this show as a way of sharing my writing and as a gentle reminder that happiness often lives in the overlooked. The way the sunlight moves through the trees, the hush of an early morning, or the comfort of doing things the old school way. Through these stories, I hope you'll rediscover the joy of enough. It's time now to settle in for the story and enjoy the moments that celebrate living a wild and simple life. Welcome to this week's short story. It's about a woodcarver living in a secluded cabin, shaping wooden spoons from fallen branches. Each spoon holds a memory of seasons passing, quiet moments, and connections with others. It's also about the slow, wild, and simple rhythm of life, an old letter, and finding warmth in the memories held in wood. So get cozy with me, grab a warm drink, and enjoy this little story. The first spoon I carved was crude and heavy, more club than utensil. My hands were clumsy then, the blade slipping against the grain, the wood stubborn beneath my hesitant touch. I kept it anyway, settling it on a worn pine shelf above the sink, where the firelight caught its uneven edges each evening. A beginning, rough and honest. That was years ago, when I first came to this cabin tucked between the pines and the river. The walls are still the same, thick and furred with moss in places, but time has softened them, just as it softened me. In summer, the wind moves through the trees like the hush of a turning page. In winter, the snow settles so quietly you could mistake the whole world for a held breath. Here, life is slow. Here, I carve wooden spoons. Each one begins with a fallen branch, something the woods have offered up willingly. I take my knife and trace the shape with my mind before steel ever meets bark. Birch for lightness, walnut for warmth, maple for something in between. The grain tells its own story, tight spirals from a tree that's weathered much, soft waves from one that grew easy in the shade. I run my fingers over the wood, feeling where the spoon wants to be found. No two are alike, not really, though the motions are always the same. Peel away the outer bark, carve the bowl, shape the handle. I whittle down slowly, curling ribbons of wood falling into my lap. A meditative practice, a conversation with something older than me. By the time I finish, each spoon hums with the memory of its making. Some I keep, some I give away. The one carved from apple wood its handle smoothed by long hours of careful work, went to Martha, who makes the thickest berry preserve I've ever tasted. She cradled it in her hands like a gift from the earth itself, promising to stir something sweet with it come morning. The one from oak, sturdy and sure, I gave to Elias, who fixes boots and fences with the same quiet patience I put into carving. He nodded when I placed it in his hand, said nothing, but later left a bundle of dried sage on my doorstep. The spoons I keep for myself are markers of time, touchstones for moments I do not want to forget. The long-handled one, with the curve just so, I made that on a summer afternoon when the bees droned lazily in the meadow, my mind lost in the rhythm of blade against wood. Another, wide-bowled and dark as river stones, I carved on the first cold evening of autumn, when the wind carried the secret of wood smoke and something in me ached for the change of season. And then there is the one I never use, the one that rests in the wooden bowl by my bedside. It is small, delicate, almost too fine for stirring. I carved it from a willow branch that had fallen by the river on the day my father's letter arrived. The letter was brief, his handwriting unchanged. He wrote of the sea, of the birds that nested near his cottage, of the way the tide still came in just the same as it always had. There was no mention of the years that had passed between us, only the steady things, the things that remained. I read it twice, then took my knife and carved the willow into something I could hold, a quiet offering, a bridge of wood and memory. Seasons pass, more branches fall, more spoons take shape beneath my hands. Some I stain with strong tea, others I leave bare to age on their own way. I have no need for more, not really, but the making is its own kind of nourishment. The world is full of things beyond my control, but this I can shape, this I can soften. Winter comes again, and I set a pot of soup to simmer on the stove. The fire crackles, the wind murmurs through the trees, and I reach for a spoon, running my thumb along the grain. Outside the snow begins to fall, slow and silent as a held breath. Inside, the scent of sage and rosemary drifts through the warm air, and I stir slowly, gently, with a spoon carved from memory itself.